What is up, you guys? We are in night 3 of our solstice. Have you been burning your wishes in the evening? I was out buying like some little Christmas gifts for my family in the local shops, and I went into the crystal store for some things, and I asked the girl at the counter if she was doing the little solstice wish burning, and she said yes. So I thought that was cool. I was like, well, I hope all your intentions and wishes come true. And which brings us to our weekly manifestation oracle message. We're using the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms oracle deck. This is one of Colette Baron Reed's earliest decks. I love it. Love the art. Love the messages. All right, let's grab. What do we need to know this week about revealing miracles? Getting our manifestations off the ground. Ooh, River Queen, flow, letting go, natural movement. I love this. This looks like a mug that I saw at the crystal store. But I like this because we're in the holidays, right? And we're in full swing. And right now it's just about letting go, doing the best you can to be, everywhere you want and desire to be and do right now. And don't put so much pressure on yourself as far as like perfectionism, and it's in a couple of days things will be quiet. The week after Christmas and New Year's always quiet, so you'll have time then to sort of like get into your to-do lists, do the best you can to sort of like do the necessities and the things that are the most important, but just keep perspective, go with the flow, like be in the holiday spirit. Be in the joy, be in the mirth, be a part of things. Don't be like a stick in the mud, like this time of year can reveal miracles, and we can really connect with the presence of the Spirit of God during these dark days, during the Feast of the Goddess, or the Feast of the 12 Days of Christmas and Hanukkah. But part of connecting with that has to do with being in a high vibrational state of love and joy and sharing and giving and generosity and open-heartedness. So that's really what is aligning us and revealing so much of the goodness. And I can attest to that because too, like over the past week, I keep talking about these small miracles that were just revealed every day during the holidays, and I don't want to look over the fact that even on the days at work that weren't great, I was given a lot of the better clientele. I think is just as far as like being positive in enjoying the holidays, like better percentage tippers, like things like that. They weren't necessarily the ones that you glance over and see, oh yeah, that big party, you got that big, but it was like these small tables are really good. So I think that I was blessed in that way. So just kind of going with the flow, trusting and keeping your heart uplifted. I also noticed that through the days, even though I wasn't necessarily conscious of it, it was like everybody was extra silly. We were all having a really fun time. So just letting go, natural movement, don't force anything. Everything will come into place. Just give it your best. I watched Home Alone last night, the first one, and man, that's a really good movie. That's not just some, like lame, cheesy, campy Hollywood movie. There's something, there's like guts and layers to that movie. But I just feel bad because everybody's so mean to Kevin in the beginning, but I guess that's the point. Ooh, Desert Prince. I have been thinking about this card, even though I haven't pulled it, and I haven't pulled it in years. But this is that oasis in the desert. It's like, hey, there's like some temporary relief coming in. Things have been difficult. And so, look forward to some reprieve, right? Like that's one reason why it's just like, let go, have a good time. Look at this water here. Look at this watery refreshment in this sort of dry landscape, and someone to be there and help you, right? Courageous lion there. So survival or false promises. So be careful too, not to get too thirsty, so to speak, or needy of what you want and force the mold in a mirage situation. Like say you're ready to get this other kind of job and one looks really sparkly and shiny on the surface, but there's just something that doesn't feel quite right about it, but you ignore those red flags and it just seems like it's going to promise you the world, and then it turns out to be not all it's cracked up to be. Or like you are wanting to have someone around during the holiday season, and you are kind of settling for people that maybe aren't really like, actual matches, or projecting things on a situation that may not be there, and it's just kind of a passing thing. So either way, this could be connecting to that moment of reprieve and some replenishment that helps us survive the passage through the desert, though, which I feel like, that could be more the case. But being aware of the other side of it is also really good. Whoa! Okay, so I'm going to grab the Eagle King because he was showing himself to me from the bottom of the deck when I picked it up. So the big picture and angelic help. So again, I feel like the universe is showing us Desert Prince, like there's something about angelic help coming in to help us sort of like through the darkness. And that's like the message of this time of year too, is like connecting to hope even in the darkest times. We feel like, oh, how could anything good come during dark times like these? And it's the darkest times that the greatest things come, right? Jesus was born in Bethlehem in times that were pretty much almost the same as they are now. And he was born in those kind of conditions. And so, that kind of state of man, when they were thinking that it was their holiness that was going to draw the Messiah and the Redeemer in, to find that the Messiah showed up in those days, they wouldn't have thought, and it was, it's in the darkest times that we are open enough and receptive enough to want the miracle, to do what it takes to connect with that. So the Eagle King, the big picture, angelic help. So this is the darkest days of the year. This is the furthest from the harvest, right? The furthest from spring harvest, or spring, sprouts and the next harvest. So, these were dark times for the Celts too. And so they were longing for the return of the vitality of the sun. And that's one reason why they decided to put Christmas when it is, because they thought, okay, the solstice has its own significance, but it almost is like this cosmic telling of the prophecy of the coming of the physical embodiment through the nativity. So it's like the sun goes into, a death, and then stays in a void kind of like suspended state for 3 days. And then it is on the dawn of Christmas morning that the new light, the new radiance begins to become evident and apparent to the naked eye. So this new radiance coming into the world on a physical level, on a cosmic level, on a soul spirit level, all of it. It's all being said. It's all being proclaimed. Okay, ooh, the Lady of the Gift. I love it. So birthing something, a miracle coming from these dark times, right? Generosity, receiving and withholding. So one of the focuses coming from lessons from the Kabbalah Center through Hanukkah and through lessons about Advent and Solstice is that, the animal instinct in us is to withdraw this time of year and to want to withhold and receive for the self alone and go into survival mode, right? And to kind of lock up and be tight-fisted or stingy. But the key to actually revealing the protection and the abundance in your life is actually to open up and to give and to share and to have a generous spirit, and to lean into sharing and to lean into community and taking care of one another instead of trying to fortify, right? I love this. She kind of reminds me of like the Star of Bethlehem, like blowing new hope and good news, right, over the lands, new possibilities, new eras, new things starting. So when we want to receive something, we need to first give it. We need to be the first to demonstrate that thing and plant the seed before we can expect to receive. So whatever you want, don't begrudge others. Don't look at them jealously and be like, oh, and you're not happy for them. Like the best way to get that for yourself is to look at them as an example of what's possible, bless them, be glad for them. Another way to put protection and blessing over you is to declare like God's goodness and his mercy, and start to talk about it out loud, but also to do this particularly after the midnight hour, between midnight and dawn. It reveals like a next level. And so the physical act of doing that does reveal like some extra layers of like wisdom and depth and understanding, but the like mystical layer of it is that you are in dark times looking to the word of God to guide you. You're looking for the presence of God in that and the message that's coming, like God speaking to you in those times when things are difficult, when things are uncertain, right? Whenever it's talking about the nighttime, it's talking about times that are difficult or things are uncertain, right? And so when people are awake at night or they continue to strive at night, it means they don't give up when things get hard. They continue to hold on to the faith that God is going to move through the situation and work on their behalf. So the lady in the gift, open your heart. Forgiveness was one of the assignments for the week in order to reveal miracles. So lean into forgiveness, lean into generosity and sharing, and peace be with you. Ciao.